Hello, SNAFA and NAFA members. Thank you for having me here today. You know, the very first thing that most people do when they're delivering speeches is start with their credentials, but I'm not going to do that here today. In these 3 minutes, I don't want to take your time. I want to give you your time by talking to you about what I want to do for you. I know right now you're thinking, what an unconventional way to start off a speech. Who is this girl? But well, I am who you make me to be. Just like our mission and our organization will be what you make of it. Your success is my success. Your success is the success of our mission. Your success is the success of our organization. Why am I telling you all this? Because if there's one thing I hope we have all learned through our humble mission of serving the underserved is that leadership is servitude. It's not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. If elected, I will be here to serve you. My number one goal is to empower and uplift you so that you can empower and uplift our communities. This speech is just the beginning of me aiming to give you your time. I want to revolutionize and reinvent the communication and resources available to you. I want to build you up and celebrate your accomplishments. I want to inspire you and for you to go outside and beyond the challenges that we give you as a national board so that you can seek other opportunities to serve our communities. Now, you're probably wondering, how are we going to accomplish this? Well, let's start with the basics. Making sure that we roll out the SNAFA website on time is a huge priority. Redesigning, reorganizing, enhancing weekly blasts, the Signatura, initiative manuals, membership resources, and more. Using our social media platforms to deliver you improved methods of communication and reminding you of deadlines. And using these same platforms to not only promote national initiatives, but to also showcase you guys as our members and what you're doing for our communities. Because if we've learned anything this past year, is that we are each other's greatest support. This will save you time in finding resources, organizing deadlines, and focusing on what's most important, and that is serving the underserved communities. Servant leadership comes with great personal sacrifice, and this is something that I've had the privilege of doing for my own chapter, and I hope to keep doing for chapters across the nation, because there is no greater accomplishment than to see other individuals surpass your own accomplishments, the missions, and the organizations. Because remember, it's not about being in charge, it's about taking charge of those in our care, because you guys are the result of our success. Thank you guys so much for all your support and listening today.
Thank you for that. First question for you. As public relations liaison, you'll be working on the Signatura, NAFA's official online newsletter. What are some new ideas you would like to implement for the newsletter?
Yeah, so that's an excellent question. First and foremost, I definitely think that's an area which we can improve on promoting. I know through working or being president with our NDMU chapter, something we would do is we would send that out separately from other news, and we would also post it on social media, which is not, I guess, like I haven't seen too much of that, which is something I would like to start doing. And I know that our region facilitators often work very closely with our local chapters and often know exactly what events they're doing. And I would like to really take all of those unique events and acts of service and start to put them on there and using our social media to really put them out there. Because like I said, we are each other's source of inspiration. And I think that couldn't have been more true through this pandemic. I know our chapter thrived from having other chapters help us out with, you know, asking us to be part of their events or vice versa. So I think that's something that we can really enhance. And we can also, on our behalf, start reaching out to students to see if they would like to submit any of the articles that have been written for their particular chapters as well that we can include in the Signatura in order to grow it.
Thank you. When you are provided with a multitude of great ideas, how do you communicate and make a decision on how you will proceed?
Sure. So that's an excellent question because that's definitely something that's hard to do, right? Because you want to make everything happen, but everything comes with its own time. I've figured that out through my work with our chapter. And I think the most important way to do that is reformatting how you're going to present these ideas, right? So something we did this past year is, as president, I would come into the meeting, give a few updates, but then everyone else, shared their ideas. And I just spoke last. I like to listen and see how their perspectives kind of helped narrow down the things that me or our president-elect or anyone else from our chapter had come up with. So I think, jotting everything down and maybe picking the most pertinent ones and seeing which ones would be more effective, whether it's because they tackle a specific issue your organization is having at the moment, or it's something that your membership would directly benefit from in a more immediate action. So that's a large part of distinguishing, what ideas to bring to life when.
All right, thank you for that response. The next question is, what is the most important responsibility of being public relations liaison and why?
The most important, well, if I had to, it's kind of tough, right? Because we want to make everything look good. And while that's really important, I think the most important part of is communication, like that promotion, like putting your events out there, putting what other people are doing out there. That was one of my biggest things when I was in my term as president. I literally would take the time to text every single student in the P1 class or send a flyer out to every single chapter. I know it's a lot of work, but like I said, it requires sacrifice. And taking the time to do that opens up new opportunities for other members. Because I know sometimes just, posting it on our story or on our feed, it doesn't always captivate everyone, even if it looks really amazing. So you have to go that extra mile and you have to reach out to them personally. And that also makes them feel like, you want them to be part of that initiative. You want them to be part of that event. So thank you so much for your question. That's an excellent question.
Thank you, Erica. So the brand of an organization is an important aspect of how it is perceived to the public eye. How would you enhance the promotion or brand of SNAFA?
Sure. So I think the first thing that we could do as part of the national board is really lead by example. And I know we're all very busy, but the number one thing that we want our local chapters to do is get out there and serve our communities. And I know that's been really hard in the last year, but as COVID slowly starts to go away, or even if it reemerges, there are ways in which we can do that. And that is the core of who we are, right? Serving the underserved. So I think we have to lead by example and figure out ways in which we can show our members and our community that we are also, figuring out new ways oh, can we get together within our community or with a local chapter around you and go to a soup kitchen or distribute little health bags or whatever it may be. I think that's a great way of promoting your brand, because in order to promote your brand, you have to be your brand, you have to embody it, and you have to show that you also believe in it. And I think this really empowers chapters to also want to do these things and go above and beyond to find new ways to serve our community. Thank you for your question.